You guys seen my spa? Ain't nobody got it like me. A nice row of some relatively cool cars. Anyway, morning everybody. It's a squishy morning. It rained all night last night, which is a-okay with me, because while it'll be humider than Satan's anus later, more humid than Satan's anus later. Humider is not, that's not a word. It'll, for now, it feels pretty nice and mild. And so, while we have a little bit of time, I'm going to stand this back up from being knocked over by the wind so that when Amanda comes outside, she can work on her Beetle. The Beetle is... oh, damn it. The Beetle's coming along. She is just about done with it. Come on. Spin. Spin. There you go. All right. Cool. Good enough. Good enough. Alrighty. So, basically today... oh, sick. The battery's charged. Can you see that? Yeah. Alright, cool. 100%. Oh. I see. It rained enough to make the oil overflow. God damn it, come on. Aggravating annoyance. Anyway. We are going to go ahead and try and do the cleaning stuff. So we're going to put you in the thingy. I don't know how long I'll make this video, but I'm going to try and make the push this morning to go ahead and knock as much of this out as I can. The intake manifold's been soaking plenty long. Speaking of which, let me grab my little stool. My back is still not super swell from yesterday. Oh, damn it, my little end fell off. Come on with it. I guess I'm just going to have to find that later. Okay. Anyway, so I know I've been talking all this shit about the OBD2 conversion, and I really want to do it, but I don't want to do a whole lot of work and then have to undo and redo everything I was trying to do. So I'm gonna wait on it for now. That's no good. I guess I'll just have to find that later. Oh boy. Oh yeah, here's that thing I did. So that's going to be snug. I don't know if this will go in deep enough to do what I want it to do, but yeah, you see, that's just... we'll put a little bit of tight on that and we'll see what happens. The whole thing here was that I wasn't necessarily trying to order the, what do you call it? Okay, so this is what I think I'm going to do. I am going to precariously perch you guys up here. Just like that. Yeah, see, you can see the thing right there in the front. And I'm going to grab this here dead blow. And I'm going to try and keep tapping this thing in. Yeah, see, that thing went way further in than what I could push it in. So, obviously, if you're an old head watching this right now, you already know what this thing is. This here is what we call an expandable freeze plug. And the whole thing is, it's $20 for one of the SAI block-off things, and it looks kind of cool at first, but then you realize nobody's ever going to see it. It really doesn't need to be in there the way it is. And there's really not much of a reason why this thing here can't, you know, do the ticket, be the ticket. All right. Nice. So I'm going to let that sit. This doesn't have a lot of pressure behind it, so it really doesn't need a bunch of tightness on it. But if that'll stay for the better part of the day, the thing is, you usually want this here washer to seat all the way in, because what's effectively going to happen is most of your squish is going to happen out here, which is honestly going to push against the block itself. So if this thing, which feels really solid right now, if this thing happens to wiggle itself loose, then I'll have to just order the SAI block-off plate. But the thing about it is, from what I'm looking at, there's no holes except this one around that I can see that the block-off plate would really go into. And I'm not confident enough immediately to drill a hole anywhere in here to make that work if that's what it's supposed to be. I assume it just sandwiches into the intake manifold bolt right here the way the original assembly kind of did. This, you won't see it. You won't notice it's there. Yeah, it's kind of janky, but like at the same time, shit. That was $10 and that was in town. I didn't have to do anything special, nothing crazy. All right, so we're gonna... Yeah, so I got a bunch of hardware down in the bottom of that. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. I gotta go over to the Jetta real fast. We got to grab the bag of rags. I have another bag of rags in the house, but in a video I haven't posted and probably am not gonna post, I started on the cleanup in the barn like you saw in the video from the other day. Damn spider webs. I just parked this here yesterday. Oh God. I'm not scared of spiders or anything. I'm just not. I just don't like bugs in general. I'm not fascinated by them, so it's not really my cup of tea. I can feel a sneezing fit coming on. Yep. Okay. So, it's actually a really nice drying towel. Excuse me. Okay, so we're just gonna wipe this down a little bit. And then the hope is that I can just hang you guys out. And then we're just gonna wash some parts. Yeah, I think that looks okay, right? Alrighty. So I should probably bring the water hose over here so that I can rinse some of this stuff once I'm done. Water hose. I'm just gonna set that there like that. Okay, so where do I want to start? I've got this down here. So this is the SAI stuff. I'm not putting it back in if that plug holds. Well, I've already said if the plug doesn't hold, then I'm just flat out gonna order the SAI block off plate. Basically, I'm cleaning this stuff up just because it's good parts. Somebody somewhere might actually want to keep their car super original, and this is just gonna go in a tote. All the parts that I pull out of the B3, I'm gonna try and do it tastefully, do it without damaging anything, so that way anybody who decides they want to do some original jamming out, they can. I intend to have this car for the rest of my life, potentially. You know, permitting. So I'm doing things the way I want to do them. There's not necessarily anything wrong with preservation by any means. But like I said, I intend on doing the OBD2 swap, which is just going to, you know, quality of life improve a lot of things about the car. It'll enable me to install little OBD reader ports so that I can try to be a little more up to date on seeing what the car is doing. With this thing being a 94, I don't actually even think this has the OBD2 port in it anywhere. I'd have to look. It may. I know my 93 never had one. My 93 didn't even have a check engine light, hilariously. Man, these little gnats or something, aren't they? I know y'all guys probably can't see them, but they're damnedest thing about the country is all the freaking flying bugs. And gnats are some of the worst because they're just incessant. And they're small, so you can barely get them. They don't really fall for normal fly traps like the yellow flies. Ever since I put out the hang-up wet traps with the putrescent stuff, the really smelly bait, haven't had much of a problem. I put one on the far side of the yard on the pine tree in the shade where them things like to hang out, because that's the direction I walk with the dog. I hated walking out there first thing and getting assaulted by the bugs. And I don't know if you know, like, if you're in Carolina, I'm sure you've got them. I don't know what all climates you'll find these in. I call them yellow flies, but I've also heard people call them deer flies. It looks like a little jet plane when it's landed on you. It's yellow in color, that's why, you know, hence the yellow fly. But man, they bite like hell, and it is painful. And if you're like me and you're usually busy and can't just immediately swat things off, if they don't go away with a shake and they bite the piss out of you in one spot for real long, it'll whelp up really bad. Ask me how I know. You know, it's cleaning up okay. It's not something I'm gonna use, like I said, but clean is clean, and if it ever has to go back together for any reason, I can, and I can make it look nicer. I'll let that one sit up there next to you guys. Hang on to that for me. Alright, the lower manifold. I need hot water for this. Grease just doesn't care about cold. Need a little itty bitty screwdriver so I can pop that little metal tab out. I'll find that at some point. It's not like it's going anywhere, right? Yes. I'm gonna let that manifold soak a little bit longer. I'm gonna try and get all these plastics done and out of the way. I'm not sure, but I think I might try and go buy some wire loom. I know I've got a little bit, but I don't know if I pulled enough of the harness apart to be able to slide stuff into it. So I'll have to check that. I'm probably going to do a lot of that off camera just because, you know, you've seen a lot of this stuff before. You can go to all the big boy race car channels and find excellent techniques on how to do stuff like this. This isn't one of my how-tos. This is just me hanging out with you guys, trying to chat it up a little bit. I guess I should talk about my long-term goals a little bit for the car. So, I don't know, who knows. I know I just joined the B3 Facebook group, and I may pick up a few extra subscribers here and there. I know one of my new followers, a guy named Ian, him and I have been chatting about just parts and B3s and cars and stuff. I hated Facebook. I still hate Facebook, but I do appreciate being able to go to a group of people that like the same things I like, who, you know, have already struggled a little bit, where I can get a little bit of insight from here and there. But anyway, my long-term goal with the car, since I have so many spare VR6s laying around, what I want to do is I do want to convert it to OBD2, but I am actually going to take one of the spare motors I've got, and I am going to pull it apart. I intend on doing a quick little teardown video. I know there's already a bunch of really good, super involved and informative teardown videos out there, but I'm gonna stab my hand at it, try and, you know, add my 2 cents to it. It's been many years since I've actually opened a VR6 up. To be fully honest, I know a lot of people talk a lot of shit about the reliability of a Volkswagen and how complicated they can be, but most of the VR6s I've owned, high mileage, low mileage, cammed, headwork, they're reliable. I'm not saying that Volkswagen didn't have a few, like, questionable design choices with it, but like every manufacturer you go buy a car from has potentially questionable things. And I don't even mean to be like up on a pedestal or anything, because it's not even that deep. I just mean, you know, I would have been one of the manufacturers that would have tried to have pushed back on EGRs, and I would have been one of the manufacturers, and this is again me, if Ryan Bishop, was in the position to make decisions for a company, I would have pushed back on a lot of that stuff over the years, and I would have fought for proving that simply clean tuning a vehicle can show 1,000 horsepower, but also show emissions friendly. There is all kinds of good stuff that you can do in a tune to make a vehicle produce less emissions. You can simply turn down the fuel. You know, there's even beyond that, there's trying to maintain slightly higher compression ratio lean conditions like Mazda did. Like, there's all kinds of good stuff out there that could have been tried, but instead they started choking all the motors down with all the junk, and what are you going to do? You deal with it. And thankfully for me, I know I do all my recording in North Carolina, but that's because up in Virginia, where I'm addressed, it's a homeowners association. This is a family property down here, and I pretty much, one of the only family members that had any interest in being down here. And so that's what we do. I just want to point out, look at how you can see all the grot. And I really just want to clean all this stuff up. There's like some minor paint work that I'd like to do. Like you see how the finish from it being bolted up against everything for so many years wore off, the zinc. I would like to, I'd like to spray this, you know, black or something, just to freshen it back up, not have it look so obviously worn out. I like the, I think I showed it in a video a while back when I was working on the B5 wagon. I painted up the intake manifold on it. There's a stove paint that a local hardware store sells, and when I say stove, I mean wood fire stove. So it's paint that's designed to be put on metal that's holding a flame. It's not just your everyday ordinary run-of-the-mill high temp paint. I still wouldn't try to paint headers with it, just because I don't really think any paint stands up on headers. You start making really good power in something, and you know your exhaust just gets hot, and there's thousands of degrees, and you might find a paint that'll handle a couple of cycles, but even the stuff that I'm talking about using, you get it hot enough, eventually it'll start to come back off. But it puts a really, really, really nice finish on things, and it's a durable finish because you're supposed to be able to, you know, potentially stack semi-wet logs on the top of your stove to help dry them out for keeping yourselves warm. I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to think I need a much tougher brush. Oh yeah, I should probably do something with this thing. Yeah, we'll drop that for now. Everybody's like, how'd you get your car so clean? Hours of scrubbing. Hours of being hunched over a busted cooler with purple power. But anyway, back to the car. I'd like to OBD2 swap it. But in that, I'm going to take one of the spare VR6s I've got. I'm going to try and get me some head work going. Get some high rev valves, get a pretty mild, or I mean, moderate size set of cams. I don't think I made very many videos, if any videos, about the Mark III Genster VR6 I had a few years back. Called her Jenny. It's a 98 Genster yellow. My buddy Austin had it was his car, and he had done cams and other things, and it was a really nice car. And when it came time for him to sell it, he gave me the offer, and I took it. I did some minor maintenance on it, stuff that broke on me, but largely I think it was the 262 cams that went into it. And while it was a ripper, my Passat's a little heavier than a GTI, so I definitely want to go with a more aggressive set of cams. Plus, I really like VR6 cams. I like the way the motor idles. I like how it sounds. It's got really nice characteristics, and then of course it's a VR6. So once you start getting some RPMs into her, that she will breathe, and I'd really, really, really like to take advantage of that and go with some really nice valve springs. I don't know if I'll do fresh lifters. I obviously should, just because any of these motors out here probably already have almost 200,000 miles on them. But cams, OBD2 conversion. I want to run my short runner. I'd like to get my hands on the Tectonics Tuning long tube headers. I don't know if they're on the website anymore, so I'm probably going to have to find a set secondhand. Hope and pray. Maybe even just call Tectonics and find out if maybe they've got a set in the back that kind of survived and hid. That sounded good. You alright over there? Yeah, but what was it? No, that was under there with you. Oh, okay, okay. That's acceptable. There ain't really nothing worth anything in that. As long as you're fine. I need a bore cleaner for these things. I can clean the outside, but there's still oil on the inside here and there. I have to get me some brake clean to get to the flushums. Oh, now this is a special piece. This is something I'd never seen before. But this is actually a coolant sensor cover for the side of the VR6 motor. Never knew this existed. Never knew this was a part. Never seen a car with one. And I've had probably 12.5 different VR6 cars over the years. Never seen this part. Super stoked to have it. Oh, that was a poor decision. It's just a shame because eventually I'm going to upgrade to the aluminum cooling housings and stuff. And this is going to hide it. But I can't not put this in. This is so awesome. That's pretty good right there. That clean, nice. Like that. Hopefully this helps with the gnats. Sorry if it's really loud on the video. Had to go get all my other brushes and stuff. Wanted to get serious. Alright, so I'm thinking I'm gonna fill a little bit of this now. Let it drop down just a touch. I might freshen it up. Hell yeah, that actually came really clean. I'm okay with that. It's going to take a lot of scrubbing on this other side to get it to the same. This is what I'm using. Dawn Power Suds and some Purple Power Extreme Power. Extreme. Try and get as much of this loose shit out of here as I can. We cut grass yesterday. Can't wait to get into them either. Yeah, I was just letting the battery thing sit in here. That's something else I'm going to have to try and get some paint on. There's that bolt that goes with that super clean looking washer. once we get some depth in there, I'll go ahead and pour the Perpskis in. I want that to be less flowy. That'll work. We're gonna make her thick. Yeah. What I need to do is I need to peel that sticker off, get the adhesive off, and then I can put all my rubbing alcohol in there so I'm not rocking 5 different bottles. I also need to get a filter for that thing. We love Dawn dish soap. Okay, that should be enough, Dawn. Take a coffee break, you've earned it. What's that even look like now? Yeah, it looks okay. Drag this bag over here and move that just a little bit. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Good stuff. So I guess first things first, just for funsies, I'm gonna use the hard bristle. Oh, that's nice and cold. Now see, if I do this down inside of here, I can hopefully not suds it up too bad. I don't want to damage the zinc coating, I guess, but if it does start to come off, it's already off in certain spots, so I guess it kind of just is what it is. I mean, far be it from me, but it seems to be clean. I think we'll call that on the water for now. Yeah, it's coming clean. Alright, so I firmly believe the rest of it is just staining. I'm not really pulling anything else off of it, and this is without going up to my metal brush. This is the heaviest grit scrubber I've got. Okay. Let that soak for a couple seconds again on the fresh. I am pretty excited about how this is starting to look. I know you guys can't really see it, but man. See where I'm getting, where I haven't gotten, obviously. Ah, it's nice. Clean is clean. I'm gonna try the metal brush. pause button. brush out. slippery.